To be honest, Luffy's decision was to be expected. I mean, at first look at it, to be honest with you, because I read this chapter a couple different times, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, come on, Luffy, like, really? Really? And I was a little bit looking at it like, damn, you know, I mean, it is in Luffy's character, this is not out of character, this is not necessarily bad, but you really want to see him just immediately say, you know what, fuck it, I'm boss man, this is it. But you keep on looking at the chapter, you keep on reading, and you really analyze it a little bit, you realize he is such a fucking amazing character. And the reason why he's an amazing character is because he says, you know what, I'm going to be Pirate King, but I don't want to be no big shot. So immediately to him, in his mind, Pirate King isn't even like a goal of like, yeah, I'm going to be the big dog, everybody's going to fear me. He's not even looking at it like that. The biggest title in the fucking One Piece world, being the Pirate King, and he's just like, I just want to be free. Like, that's the way he's looking at it. Like, that's the ultimate freedom, being the king of pirates. So one big thing is maybe if even they at some given point call him a Yonko, he's not going to really want that title either. And it just really made me shocked. Like, at first, you know, face value, like, oh, Luffy, stop being corny, just do it. But the fact that he looks at it as, I don't want that power. Come on, man. I don't got time for that. Like, yeah, we cool. You know, you help me, I help you. We'll look for each other's backs or whatever. And the fact that he looks at things like that inspires these people to say, you know what? This motherfucker's so awesome, we're going to toast anyway, and we're still going to do it even without him, because that is the ultimate freedom. We have the freedom, right? So we want to follow this motherfucker. And that's what makes, right there, Luffy. He's such a simple character. He's simple. Give me some meat to eat. Let me chill. I want to be free. I want to be king of the pirates. And yet at the same time, he's so simple and so amazing that it makes everybody want to worship him. It's really fucking insane. And honestly, the way Oda set it up with this chapter is like, Luffy is the fucking shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, chapters like this and the past couple chapters where he was like, I'm no longer running. I don't give a fuck. You're an admiral. It's not one day I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to do it right now. Like, that's what makes me love Luffy. That's what makes Luffy a fucking amazing character. And I mean, majority of the chapter was them trying to convince him or whatever. I like how it keeps a little bit of the gags of like Zoro's, you know, dipping in on the sake because he's like, I want to get drunk. Fuck that shit. And there wasn't a drop left. I do believe a little part of it, to a very small degree, is One Piece is loved by, you know, anyone from like a 3-year-old to, especially in Japan, like, you know, elderly. People are like 90 years old in their rockers watching One Piece. So I think to a certain degree, the reason why Oda didn't have Luffy drink any of the sake is because, like, how would that look? The role model, the main character, drinking. So he doesn't really want to put that bad image. I think that's a very small degree, but I do believe that that's something that is in mind when doing things like this. Is like, yeah, Zoro can do it because that's who Zoro's been all along, but I think he wanted to keep some of that out of just the main character. Like, you're inspiring people with this guy, and how you gonna inspire them when he's like drinking alcohol? Like, hey kids, you know, it's cool to drink, Luffy does it. So I think in the back of his mind, that was probably, or in the editors for that matter, saying, yo, he better not have a motherfucking drop of that sake in his mouth. And I think someday we definitely will run into Fujitora again. It's only a matter of time. But like, when you got an admiral, even though he's an honest guy, but you still have an admiral respecting you and even helping you out to a certain degree, making the debris and all the shit fall from the sky onto the enemies, like, you know, we've accomplished so much. Like, honestly, and I'll do a retrospect video at some given point because I really want to talk about Dressrosa as a whole. There were a lot of parts in Dressrosa that was very slow paced and very dragged out. Don't mistake what I'm saying. Like, Dressrosa wasn't by any means perfect. But what I am saying is almost all of that was amounted to something. Whether it's the boring, annoying ass shit with the Tontatas, now they're an ally. They're a big army. They're part of our 5,600 people following Luffy. Whether it was the townspeople constantly seeing them, no one gives a fuck. I don't want to see these people complaining. They ended up helping Luffy so that Fujitora didn't smash the fuck out of him. Every piece of, whether it was boring shit, slow shit, it amounted to something. So in the end, the stuff that we really wasn't, you know, interested in as far as like entertainment-wise, helped to build a better story and helped to build a better legacy for the character, you know, Luffy. So that's something that I felt like, and talking about it kind of gets me a little excited, but Oda, he can turn something, he literally can turn shit into gold. And that's fucking, that's something else. I don't know. This chapter of One Piece really made me appreciate Luffy and the story of One Piece in general. Just seeing like they're following him. He got 5,600 deep right now. Motherfuckers fuck with Luffy. They're going to go in. And I love the little narration at the end of the chapter as well. Like, they're going to be someday when that war goes down, which is, it's the promised war. There's going to be a war, and I can't wait for it. they're going to be there, and they're going to be a lot bigger. Like, I think all the people that we've seen along the way to getting to the end, to getting to Raftel, to getting to the One Piece and all that, they're all going to come back at some given point, whether they're buff as fuck, like Shanks from scrawny to, muscular, all that shit. They're going to come back, and it's going to be insane. And we're going to look back and say, oh, that's, Blue Gilly from Dressrosa. At the time when we were introduced, I was like, get him the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck. When we see them again, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now, yo, that's him. And that's some great setup from Oda. And again, this chapter was a really nice wrap up. Like, you gotta think for a second too. They're having a fucking banquet and a toast while there's billions of fucking pieces of rubble in the sky. You got pirates attacking them. You have the Marines there. You have an admiral there. And they're like, yo, yeah, we're sipping on sake. We're gonna have our banquet. We're chilling like, this is some fucking bullshit. And with all that being said, I don't give a fuck. This was a very good to a great chapter. This was anywhere, I want to say 8.5 to a 9. Like, it just really made Dressrosa yet again stand out as it wasn't the most entertaining for a lot of portions of it, but it meant something to the overall arcing story of One Piece. Like, we thought it was just going to be contained into everything that happened on this island, but everything that happened onto this island is spilling out into the later parts of the story in the grander scheme of things of like, yeah, the Yonkos, they're going to come after Luffy, but he's not alone anymore. He don't only have his, small amount of Nakama. He's going to have a great deal, and just, I don't know, I love the chapter. Let me know what you guys think of this. First of all, how did you feel about Luffy rejecting the position, but then ultimately they respect him so much, especially Bartholomew, him crying on the floor, that was fucking priceless, that they say, fuck it, we have our freedom too, and we want to follow you. And just your overall thoughts in general. Again, I probably will do a wrap-up of Dressrosa as a whole, but what did you think? Do you think that the arc, even the boring shit, amounted to something this great where people are following him left and right, and like, he's so simple, yet people love him for it? And your overall thoughts of the chapter. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.